I had to wear a Batman t-shirt for this video because it's the only way that DC is going to appear in it. Woof woof! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and we're back with another video. It's the beginning of the month, so it means that it's the thing that isn't Whale Watch, because this time it's pull list. And this video is only possible because of the Uncanny Omar over at Near Mint Condition, who does a full list of all the releases that are coming out this month. I'm sure that you all already subscribe to him, but I'll leave a link in the description so that you can watch the full video and see every book that's coming out in July. But the first book that I'm picking up for the week of July 7th is the Savage Sword of Conan, the original Marvel Years Volume 5. Yes, I'm still going hard with these Conan releases, but I'm not sure if anybody else is feeling a little bit burned out. We've already got listings for up to volume 7. I ordered that Called the Savage Omnibus as well, and I'm not sure if this is just too much. I love Conan, but admittedly I haven't read too much about Cole, that's pretty much a blind buy. But still, I'm not sure how many more omnibuses there's going to be of this, and I know that it might be the case that they've only got the license for a little bit of time, so they do need to push them out. But at the same time, it feels like near enough every other month that one of these comes out. I always go standard edition for the cover with this series, and if I can pick this up for about £60, which is what I've been getting the other ones for, then I'll be happy to bring it into the collection. Admittedly though, I will probably be picking this up from the channel sponsor Organic Price Books, and if you use code WOOFWOOF, you will get $2 off your order, and you can use that as many times as you like, which will come in handy with all these Conan omnibuses that are being released. Next up, there was no way that I was missing out on this one because it's Star Wars The Old Republic, and yes, of course it's a DM variant. I pre-ordered this the second that I saw that it went up, but I am so excited to read this. It was one of my most anticipated omnibuses of the year, and don't worry, the updated list for the second half of 2021 should be coming out in the next week or so. But Star Wars is like this massive ocean that I've only dipped my toe into so far. I've only ever read the most recent Marvel stuff, and I never really got a chance to read much of the Dark Horse era. I read Dark Empire when I was much younger, and I do hope that that gets collected in some kind of nice hardcover at some point, because the original version of that is stupidly rare. But considering I was just complaining about Marvel pumping out the Conan volumes, I'm happy to see how quickly these Star Wars volumes are coming out. And I think when I get this Old Republic book in, it's just going to ignite that fire even more, so I'm really excited to get this one in. I've got it pre-ordered at the moment for £72, and that's what I'm happy to pay for it. Next up, and I'm saying this with a heavy heart because it's Harrow County Omnibus Volume 2. Yep, I do wish that Dark Horse would have followed through with the library edition reprints that they teased, but it doesn't seem to be happening, and Harrow County is something that I do want to read around the time when Halloween's coming about, so I do still need to pick up that Volume 1, but I slept on it because of the fact that I thought I was going to get the fancier editions. No, my luck, I'll buy both of these paperback omnibuses, and then the library editions will get a reprint, in which case, you know, you can all thank me. I took one for the team. But I think the cheapest that I saw Volume 1 go to was about £16, and if I can get this second volume for that amount as well, then I'll definitely be picking it up. Last up for the week of July 7th, this is a complete blind buy because I've got Middle West, the Complete Tale hardcover. This looks great, I've seen some of the interior art, but admittedly I know nothing about this story, and I'm deliberately keeping it that way because I really enjoyed Paper Girls when I read it a few weeks ago, and I think the reason why I enjoyed it so much was because of the fact that I didn't know anything about it. I'm hoping that this is going to be the same. It looks like this is going to be a beautiful hardcover as well, and if I can get this for about £35, which I do think is chancing me luck a little bit, then I'll be more than happy to do a complete blind buy on this. So July's starting off with a very heavy total because if I was to pick up every book that I wanted for the price that I'd be happy to pay, I would be spending £183. The week of July 14th is a bit of a skinnier one, thank you God. But starting it off, I've got a very beautiful looking edition because it's the true life of the Fabulous Killjoys National Anthem Deluxe Library Edition. I think I got that correctly. There is a lot of words that are in this title. This is mainly just the completionist in me because of the fact that I've got the 3 deluxe editions of the Umbrella Academy, and there's also going to be a 4th later this year, and I just love something that comes in a slipcase. I know nothing about this series, but earlier on in the year I did review the Umbrella Academy. Admittedly, not too many people watched it, so if you could check that out, that would do me a massive favour. Really enjoyed that story, and I'm happy to just do a blind buy on anything else that's written by Gerard Way. Despite the fact that I had the emo hair whilst I was in high school, I never really listened to too much My Chemical Romance, so I only pretty much know him as a writer, so I'm really excited to see what exactly is contained in this book. But if I'm getting this correct, California is supposed to take place before National Anthem, but the deluxe edition of National Anthem comes out before California. I didn't know whether this was a series that you wanted me to do some kind of how to collect on, in case it was that you wasn't sure, or maybe I could include the Umbrella Academy in it as well. Let me know in the comments section if that's something that you want. But I managed to get quite lucky with the Umbrella Academy editions, and I picked them up for about £42, which is what I'm budgeting for this volume as well. The only other title that I'm looking to pick up this week is the Oblivion Song Book 2. It's written by Robert Kirkman, so of course I want to buy this, but I haven't picked up Book 1 yet. So I do need to factor that in as well, but I'm hoping that this isn't going to be something like The Walking Dead, where if I sleep on it for a little bit too long, then all of a sudden when I come to buy it, there's 16 oversized hardcovers that I need to buy. Actually, I don't know too much about this series, so it might be the case that it's already ended. But I've heard really good things about this without having it spoiled for me, so it's something that I am excited to jump into. So if I can pick up this second book for about £20, then it's definitely going to be making its way into the dog pound. So if I was to pick up the 2 books that I wanted for the week of July 14th, that would mean that I am spending £62. The week of July 21st starts off with a very big release because we've got the Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 2. I'm really glad that these have been reprinted. This is one of the only Silver Age titles that I'm picking up because of the fact that I want to go back and do a full retrospective. This is also where the series really seems to peak because of the introduction of Galactus. Saying that though, I'm not too sure what cover to pick up because normally I like getting the cover that has art that isn't really featured on the inside because it's like I can only really get on that front cover, so I was thinking about going with the Alex Ross variant. But the Kirby cover is the one that I've got for Volume 1, so technically if I want to keep it in line with that, I'd have to go with that cover. I might just tell JP to pick one for me because I can't decide, but if I can get this for about £50, then I'm definitely going to be happy with it. Next up, and it's a little bit disappointing to have to say this, but I've got the Usagi Yojimbo Volume 2. Yeah, I've kind of admitted that it's very unlikely that I'm going to get all the hardcovers, so I'm thinking of getting this in paperback whilst I can. I still need to get Volume 1 and Volume 9, and I'm going to try and piece together the hardcovers when I can find them. If I can find them. This is a series that I've slept on for so long. I've only ever read the crossover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I do owe this series the respect that it deserves. And if I can get this volume for about £20, then I'm happy to start the paperback version of this collection. I'm getting ready to be demonetized right now because the next book that I want to pick up is the Big Hard Sex Criminals Volume 3. I still need to pick up Volume 1 and Volume 2, but I think it was Joachim who really recommended this to me. Matt Fraction's very hit and miss for me because sometimes I absolutely love his titles like Iron Man, and then other times I think he's really overrated like Hawkeye. But it's got Chip Zdarsky, who I've never really been disappointed with, and I do believe that this ends out this series. So even though yes, it is a bit of a blind buy, and it would mean that I need to get Volumes 1 and Volumes 2, if I can get this third volume for about £25, then I'm happy to get this trilogy. Last up, and another series that I need to catch up on because I've got TMNT, the IDW Collection Volume 13. I've got up to Volume 9, I think, at the minute, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is that brand that can do absolutely no wrong. I'm loving The Last Ronin at the minute, and I'm hoping that they do some kind of deluxe oversized hardcover similar to what they did for All Hail Megatron. I'm so on board for that, and no matter how many volumes of this IDW series there's going to be, I'm going to buy. It's a bit of a shame that the price has increased because of the fact that it doesn't really seem like the quality's increased too much, but they are still well built books, so I can't be too disappointed with that. And if I can pick up this 13th volume for about £28, then I'm still going to be happy with that. With that being said, if I was to get all the books that I wanted for the week of July 21st, I would be spending a staggering £123. We're on the last week now of July 28th, and this is one that has got 3 omnibuses, but 3 that I am highly anticipating. I think 2 of them got pushed back for last month, but I'm still just as excited for them. But the first one that I've got is Spider-Man by David Michelinie and Todd McFarlane. I'm really trying to build both the amount of Todd McFarlane books that I've got in my collection, but also the number of Spider-Man. I think I read this as well when I was very, very young, or it might have just been the standard Todd McFarlane line. By the way, I'm really excited to get back to this now because I really love the black suit Spider-Man costume. I think that might be the cover that I go for because that's the one that I'm leaning to most. The Wolverine one's cool, but admittedly I don't think it really represents the tone of the book overall. This is a bit of a thinner omnibus. It's not as thin as a standalone Todd McFarlane book, but I'm still happy to pay about £50 for this one. Next up, I've got Captain America by Dan Jurgens. Yep, I'm still going to go with a standard edition cover. I like Gene Ha, but just not that one. Like, Captain America isn't even facing the cover. I don't really know what I'm looking at here. But this was one of my most anticipated omnibuses for the year. I was a little bit disappointed when it did get pushed back, but still, at least it's coming out and it wasn't cancelled. I've only read bits and pieces of this run here and there, so I'm excited to finally get the full thing. Along with the other omnibuses, I am going to be picking this up from Organic Price Books, but if I can get this for about £50, then I'm happy to pick it up. The last book for this week, and I know that this is one that a lot of people are looking forward to, and a lot of people were disappointed when it didn't come out last month, but it's none other than the Wolverine Omnibus Volume 2. But that Jim Lee cover, no matter how many times I see it, I'm still excited for this book. I'm glad that we're even getting a Wolverine Omnibus Volume 2, and from the mapping that the Uncanny Omar did for Volume 3, I really hope that that's something that's going to be in the future. I'm not sure if this is the same amount that I said for last month, but if I can get this for about £60, then it's definitely coming into the collection. And for this last week of July, if I was to get every book that I wanted for the price that I'd be happy to pick it up for, I would be spending £160. And before we get into my grand total, we're just going to do my top 5 most anticipated for the month. So I'm going to go with The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys National Anthem Deluxe Edition, Captain America by Dan Jurgens, Wolverine Volume 2, weirdly because of the hype that's been building for it, Middle West Complete Tale hardcover. What should be the last one? It's really difficult to choose. No, of course, it's going to be Star Wars The Old Republic. And yeah, it is mostly just for that DM variant cover, but I'm hoping that the stories that are in it are just as good. So yeah, Marvel has really stolen the show this month because it feels like DC's pretty much just gone, shall we just do nothing but random miscellaneous Suicide Squad books? I get that the Suicide Squad movie's coming out, but do they realise that they can still print other books for other characters? But with that being said, if I was to get every book that I wanted for the month of July for the price that I'd be happy to pay for it, I would be spending a staggering £528. Yeah, that's quite a significant amount of money, especially with the challenge that I've got for this month's haul. If you haven't seen last month's haul, I'd definitely recommend checking that out. But that's why it's always smart to budget, and I'd always recommend that people do this so that they don't overspend, because at the end of the day, this is a hobby that should not be putting you in any kind of financial jeopardy. And again, one way to avoid that is to make sure that you use the code WOOFWOOF when you use Organic Price Boots to get $2 off your order. But I'd like to know what are the books you're most excited for this month, so just leave it in the comment section below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, why did you get this far? Definitely make sure that you subscribed if you're new here, and feel free to check out one of my other videos. But until next time, whenever that may be, just make sure that you stay safe, stay reading the best books that you can find, and stay mad all you dogs. Woof woof! See you at the next video.